Manitoba Liquor Marts presents The Great Tastes of Manitoba.
Hi everyone, Jim Ingebrigtsen back with more Great Tastes of Manitoba. Who's joining us today? Susan Riese from Manitoba Pork and her 3 great recipes that I can't wait to start preparing. And of course, our old friend, Al Bowness from Manitoba Liquor Marts is back. And good to see you both, of course. Let's get right into it. Let's tell Al what's happening today, and really me, because as usual, I don't have a clue.
Okay. Well, not only are we going on a bit of a culinary adventure today, we are also going to play butcher and do some custom cutting of our own pork loin. So we're going to start with a Moroccan pork loin roast. Lots of interesting, unique flavors in that, but I can guarantee that you'll want seconds for sure. Then we're going to move on to the Gulf of Mexico and do some Tex-Mex style quick and easy pork fajitas. And we'll end up right back here in Canada with some pork loin chops topped with a nice, comforting, sweet cranberry peach chutney.
Wow, Mexico, Morocco, and Manitoba.
Hey, all M's, that's awesome.
This is going to be great. I do have a question about the Moroccan pork loin roast. Sometimes, you know, when we do that Moroccan cuisine, there's some sweetness in there. Is there going to be some sweetness to this?
Absolutely. There's a little bit of sweetness from the brown sugar, and you'll also be able to pick up some of the cinnamon and cumin.
Oh, wonderful. I can't wait. Okay, well, I'm off.
All right.
See you in a bit.
So am I, but I'm going to stick around anyway. See you later, Al.
So we're going to start with our whole pork loin right here. And these are becoming a lot more popular at retail because they're so much more economical. You're going to save a fair bit of money, cost per serving, by custom cutting your own loin into chops, roasts, cubes, strips. The options are endless.
And then you freeze some of it if you choose.
Absolutely, absolutely. The money you save from the pork, you can easily invest in a food saver or something like that and be able to shrink wrap the leftovers. So we're going to start with, like I said, the whole loin. And what we're going to do is this is roughly about 7 pounds. All right, so they vary in size, 6, 7, maybe even a size 7.5, 8 pounds. Best way to check, I guess, is to have a kitchen scale at home if you want to be sure on the weights and getting the roast.
Or just the one in the bathroom. You just hold it and stand on it.
Could do that too. So we're going to cut our roast from the center. So this is your center cut loin roast that you would normally see in the store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off a piece, maybe about 1/3 or so from the shoulder end, which is the narrower end of the loin. And we're going to save that for our strips, which we'll do after this. And then probably another 1/4 to 1/3 off the other end, which we'll use for our chops later on. And that leaves us with a nice, lean, center cut roast.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, sometimes, you know, like they are a little bit flat, so if you wanted to get fancy and kind of plump it up a little bit and make it look a little bit more pretty, I guess, or appetizing, you could tie it with some butcher string just to plump it up. Now, I just learned how to do this like 2 days ago, so bear with me.
Let me ask you a quick question now. If you were going to freeze the parts that you aren't using, I know a number of people who do it a number of different ways, including just as an example, taking this piece of meat, putting it in a piece of foil, wrapping it up nice, putting it in the freezer, or like a saran, wrapping it in saran, and then also in the foil. Is there one way that's better than another, or what would you recommend?
The best way is just to make sure whatever you're wrapping it in, whether it's butcher paper, saran, foil, Ziploc freezer bags, is just to take as much air out of the package as possible. You don't want freezer burn.
Okay.
That's why something like a food saver is nice, because you get a nice tight vacuum seal and you'll be able to store the meat a little bit longer.
Okay.
So I managed to tie one string on here, and if you wanted to do, like I say, wanted to keep going and make this fancy, you just keep going about 1 inch along the way and basically snip off the ends. But we're not going to keep doing that because it's just too time consuming. So we're going to put our roast into a Ziploc bag because that's the best way to marinate. Stick that in there. And then we're going to add our seasoning. So we've got a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of canola oil. We're going to pour that in.
Those two are mixed in together.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to add some minced onion, fair bit of onion. Just toss all that in. And then we've got our spices. So we've got some cinnamon, some brown sugar, red pepper flakes, salt and pepper, a little bit of cumin, which is...
Lots of Moroccan.
Yeah, smell that.
Oh
Awesome.
my, that is good.
Put that in, and then seal up the bag, as we always do when we're marinating. And then you can just massage all of those spices together. And then we would marinate that in the fridge for definitely overnight. You want the flavors to get in there. You can also pierce the roast with a fork or one of these handy dandy meat tenderizer units first, if you like, which I just forgot to do, but that's okay.
Oh, that's okay.
And
this probably doesn't need it.
Yeah, and then just leave it in the fridge for about, well, as I say, 24 hours. You really want the flavors to soak into that meat.
Okay, I'll do that now.
And this recipe, Jim, is actually was inspired from our King of the Q grilling guide, one of our summer recipes, and we've actually done it on the barbecue, but today we've done it in the oven. So the way that we did that is we turned our oven to 325. We're going to cook our roast about 25-30 minutes a pound and pull it out at about 155 Fahrenheit. Tent it loosely with foil for about 10 minutes. Let those meat juices redistribute throughout the meat. And let's give it a slice and see how it looks.
Oh.
So if you want to just transfer that to here. Well, I think we might need to take it out of the pan, actually.
Oh, do you want to do it that way then?
There's
like the old-fashioned, is use this?
Yeah, absolutely. Just transfer it right over to the cutting
old
board.
World War II radio antenna. Here, I'm just going to do that.
There, here, I'll help you.
Yeah.
All right.
I love the brown bits see in here.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll give that a bit of a slice. And look at the juice in there. Now this is quite a large roast, so if you have leftovers, that's another great thing about this recipe. You can serve it cool, cold on buns. You can reheat it. You can cut it into strips. Use it for a salad. Lots of options.
You just carry on. I'm just want to take a look at this end piece here because no member of the company wants that.
How is it?
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. We'll be back with more of these great tastes from Susan Riese right after this. I'm going to dip it in some of the juice.